Yeah, so already, just look how quickly this board filled up. This is kind of where we want to be with this deck. This is what makes this deck so strong. Next turn, we're just going to keep swinging. And then the following turn, we can establish the dragon, which is also very strong. Hey, what is going on, everyone? It's Adakai TCG here, and today I'm coming at you with a updated deck profile video for a very old leader. He's an OP01 leader, Roronoa ZOOro, or Zoro, as a lot of people like to call him for this updated format. But yeah, this leader was a menace from sets 1 through 4, dominating the scene. Because of his generally great leader ability. For those of you who don't know, maybe you guys got into the game a little bit later, Zoro is a mono red leader, so he has 5 life, which is great. He's a 5k power leader with slash attribute, and his leader effect is Dawn ×1. On your turn, all of your characters gain 1000 power. So really good value for your Dawn spending. Right, you attach 1, and now you're pretty much gonna multiply that Dawn by 5 if you have a full wide board of characters, right? And so he typically was a weenie rusher, and here we kind of have the same thing going on, right? Except what did red get? So red got an even better way to flood the board in set 8, but they also got quite a good few top ends now. So I think previously, there weren't as many great red top ends. You know, we had the Newgate, but Newgate didn't have Rush, so it kind of like slowed the tempo down the turn you played it. But now we have things like the Dragon character card, which is an 8-cost, 9k power Rush, and it gives you Dawn Recycling. And we also have Rayleigh, which gives us some control and, yeah, just answering some stuff on the board. And so very good cards to the deck. But let's go through the decks so far, and we're gonna start with the choppers. And so we'll start with the newest chopper, because I think this is the key card that made the Zoro engine kind of work again. And so this card is a 3-cost, 5k power with a strike attribute. It doesn't have any counter, so it's pretty dead in hands. But on your turn, on play and when attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and from among them, play 1 animal-type character with a power of 4,000 or less rested. Then place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. And so this is both an on-play and when attacking effect, meaning we're searching and playing a 4,000 power or less animal when we play it, and each time this guy attacks, you're doing the same thing. And so you can imagine how quickly we're going to be flooding the board with this chopper. And so really, really good staple card now. Doesn't have a counter, but it would be absolutely broken if it did have a counter on it. But yeah, so what are the targets that we're hitting with this? Let's go through that now next. So we do have the 3-cost 4k power blocker chopper that from the OP01 set. He does have 1k counter. He has the blocker attribute. Dawn ×2, when attacking, give one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power during this turn. And so normally, 4,000 power characters aren't that great in that we need to attach Dawn to swing into leader. But with Zoro now and his leader ability, this thing can swing 5k without any investment of Dawn other than attaching 1 to our leader. And so he also does have the good when attacking effect. If we need to lower, say we want to get rid of a character, we can lower it by 3,000 power, then swing into it with 2 Dawn. And so that's really, really strong as well. Helps us get rid of things like 8-drop Kid or some bigger bodies that we just need to remove if we need to control the board a little bit. But most of the time with this deck, you'll be seeing that we're just swinging at face. But yeah, so it's one of the targets. The second target that we're running is the OP01 chopper. Many people probably don't even know this card, but It's a 3-cost 4K power, the same as the previous one. It does have 1K counter, and Dawn times 1 when attacking. You may trash 1 card from your hand and add up to 1 Straw Hat type character, other than 2020 Chopper, with a cost of 4 or less from your trash to your hand. So, really good card in that we can cycle some of our dead cards in hand that we don't need, right? Say we don't need the extra 2020 Chopper because we already have 1 or 2 on the board, or say we don't need this event. This Chopper can cycle that for something like a Nami, something like our 2K Sanji, or even a Rush Zoro if we need to bring that back from the grave. And so, really strong card. It's run into 2 of though because it's a little bit more situational, but again, it's another target for our OP08 Chopper to hit. Then we have this Chopper. He is a 3-cost 4K power, 1K counter, and this is from OP04. He has an on-play ability that says, play up to 1 animal type character card with a 3,000 power or less from your hand. And so, in this deck, we aren't running the, I can't remember the name of it, the animal from Drum Kingdom that has Rush when you attach 2. You can make an argument for playing it. I just, with my testing, I kind of liked playing a little bit more diverse mid-game Rush, like our Zoros and Kid Killers. But he still can play the Hiking Bear from your hand as well. And so this 2020 Chopper can play out this 2020 Chopper who can play out the Hiking Bear. And now, boom, you have 3 bodies on the board and you are chilling. And this guy plays it active, right? And so you don't have to worry about it being swung into. And then, yeah, obviously the last option is the Hiking Bear, who is a 3-cost, 3K power. He's a 2K counter, so it's never dead in hands. And he's Dawn times 1, activate main, once per turn. Give up to 1 of your animal type characters, other than this character, 1,000 power for the turn. And so it's just another way to... We're going to be attaching a Dawn here anyway to make him 5K with the leader ability. And so when you do attach that 1 Dawn, we're getting further value for that Dawn by giving one of our other choppers 1,000 power. And so, or another Hiking Bear, say if you have 2 on the board. And so we're getting so much Dawn value from these cards. It's great. And so that's kind of the main engine from the choppers and animals perspective. And the cool thing about that is because you're flooding the board and because all of these cards are so live and are constantly swinging into the leader, all these guys kind of act as pseudo blockers in that your opponent almost has to get rid of them because they'll just keep chipping away at his life or his hands, his or her life or hands each turn. And so it's great. You'll often find that you're sitting on 5 life for like the first 3-4 turns because your opponent's is so they're trying to manage the board state. And so that leads us into our mid-range. But actually, before we get to the mid-range, let's talk about the searchers. So we do have 2 searchers in the deck. We'll talk about the new one first. Dr. Kureha, who's an OP08 searcher. She's a 1-cost 2K power, 1K counter. And on play, she looks at the top 4 cards of her deck, not 5, 4, for a 2020 Chopper card or a card with Drum Kingdom type, except for Dr. Kureha. And then reveal it and add it to your hand and put the remaining in the bottom of the deck in any order. So again, it's hitting she can grab us a 2K because this Hiking Bear is a Drum Kingdom, or any of our choppers, which is great. And she also grabs us this event, which is a 1-cost counter. And this card looks at the top 5 cards of your deck and puts 1-cost 3 animal or less type character into play. Then you place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. And so, really cool thing about this card is you can play the blocker chopper off of it, right? And so, I've won games because I counter with this event. I knew that there was going to be a blocker chopper, or I was hoping that there was going to be a blocker chopper based off of the card counts that I had coming up soon. And so I played out the blocker, and now I had a blocker to block the last attack, and then I could win on the crackback. And so very, very strong card. Situationally, you can start flooding the board even on your opponent's turn, and so very cool synergies with this deck. It can also be searched out by Nami, who's our other searcher, and most of you are probably familiar with this, but it's an OP01 searcher, 1 cost 2k power with 1k counter, and you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Straw Hat type character, or card rather, other than Nami, add it to your hand, and place the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. And so you can search out your Shut Up and Come With Us with this too. And so Nami is actually a great searcher in that it's kind of this toolkit searcher where in the early game, we're probably going to want to try to get our 2020 Chopper, the 3 costs from the OP08. In our mid game, or late game, you're probably trying to fish out Zoro, a Drum Kingdom, or a Diablo Jambe to close out a game. And so, very versatile card. And she can even fish us out a 2k Sanji. And so, we are running so many cards that can look at the top 5 cards of our deck. I will say the order in which you place the cards back into the bottom of the deck really matters in this deck because you are 100% going to go through your whole deck. Think about it. So there's the Namis is top 5. These choppers are top 5 every time they're played and when they attack. There's the Kureha, and then there's the Shut Up and Come With Us. So you can imagine, you're just constantly looking at the top 5 of your deck, and so it's a lot of information you're getting. It'll also give you information on what your life is, and so if you know and memorize your 2k counters, and you're looking and seeing what's been played, what you saw in your deck, you can kind of predict what's in your life too, which is also very, very strong knowledge to have. And so this deck with practice, I think you will just have so much board state knowledge. So yeah, very, very good, very strong. We are running, let's go to the Straw Hats now. We're running 4 copies of the 3 cost 5k Zoro. This is a standard rush character and can be searched by Nami. Very good at building aggression in the mid game and closing out the game as well, right? And so that's why I'm running this at a 4 of. I was testing it at 3, but honestly, just playing this guy down, him swinging 6 often because we're going to be attaching 1 to Zoro, or 7 if you attach 1 to the character itself too. And so very, very strong pressure in that regard. We are running 2 copies of the 2k Sanji, almost never playing this guy out. He's just a 2k Straw Hat that can be brought back from the 2020 Chopper OP01 and can be searched out by Nami. And so yeah, that's mostly just the 2k. And then we are running 2 copies of Diablo Jambe, which if you aren't familiar with this card, it's a 1 cost event that you activate on your main. You can select up to 1 Straw Hat type leader or character, and your opponent cannot activate a blocker against their attack. And so this could just be what closes out a game for us. And so aside from that, we have 4 copies of Makino, who's a 2k counter, 1 cost 0k power. But she has an activate main. You can rest the character, and then one of your red card characters with the cost of 1 gets 3,000 power for the turn. This allows us to make our Namis and Dr. Kurehas swinging characters, and so we can build up even more pressure in the board state and against our enemies there. We're running 4 copies of Kid Killer, or 3, sorry, not 4, 3 copies of Kid Killer. He's a 4 cost 5k power, rushing character. And when attacking, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, this character gains 2,000 power to the end of the turn. So towards the end of the game, this character is basically a 4 cost 7k body, an 8k once you put 1 down under Zoro. And that's really strong. Being able to swing 8k with a 4 cost investment is very, very, very good. And so I'm running it at a 3 of. It's more relevant towards the end of the game, but so I do see an argument to running it at a 2 of if you wanted to adjust any of these other ratios, but for now, I'm keeping it at a 3. And then, so the strategy is, right, the choppers are going to be what you play early and just flood the board, swinging 5s. Then you're going to start getting into your mid-range with the Zoros and the Kid Killers to close out the game. But we do have a great end game as well, right? So we have the 8-drop 9k Monkey D Dragon. He's the boss monster, one of the boss monsters of the deck. He has Rush and On Play. give your leader or one of your characters up to 2 rested Dawn. So right off the bat, on your 8 Dawn turn, you can drop this, give 2 Dawn to Zoro. Now all your choppers become active to swing. And so you're swinging 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5s, and then 6 with this chopper, and then 7 with your leader, and then 10 with this dragon, which is really strong. And now you have this 8 cost 9k body on the board that your opponent has to deal with. And then the last character that we're running is the 8 cost 8k power Silver's Rayleigh. And on play, choose up to 2 of your opponent's characters until the end of the turn. End of your opponent's next turn, give one of the characters minus 3,000 power. So it persists on their turn, which is great. And then the other minus 2,000 power. After this, KO one of the characters with a power of 3,000 or lower. And so I believe you can stack this effect on both onto one character and then KO that character as well. And so this is a really good tempo swing and board control. Or rather, so I don't think you can. Yeah, so this is our answer to the 8-drop Kid in the Bonnie matchup, because what we do is we lower Kid by 3,000 power and then lower the Rosinante by 2,000 power. And since now it has 3,000 power or lower, we can KO that Rosinante and then just start swinging into the Kid. And so if they don't have a Rosinante out, then you can just KO the Kid. And so it's really, really strong. It lets us basically clear a big body that's going to be causing us issues. And yeah, just another top end that your opponent would have to deal with. And so that's kind of the main concept of the deck. I think the better you get at searching and at memorizing what you bottom decked, it will have a little bit more legs. But this deck is also quite forgiving in that you're able to kind of pick out the pieces you want and just flood the board. And sometimes it's just too much for your opponent to deal with anyway. And so really fun deck. I don't know where it'll fall in the tier listing of OP08. I'm still kind of doing a lot of testing, but yeah, to me, it's a ton of fun. It really feels like red. You're like playing red again. And I just love Zoro and Chopper's dynamic. And if you do like this card, it is available on my website too. It's a custom card that I made. I like to think of it as Zoro calculating lethal and Chopper kind of giving him some assistance. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into some gameplay. And so we are going second. We do have a Kureha and a 3-cost Chopper, so I'm going to keep this hands. We'll see what happens. After they play out the baby 5. Here, I think we're just going to play the Kureha. Wow, just no search, which is okay. We'll place it like this and say return and pass. Bonnie is a little bit of a tougher matchup for us in that she can always just rest one of our characters or leader cards, and so it does get kind of annoying at times, but I will definitely use this. Just get rid of that. We'll play this out. We'll play out this Chopper. And we'll just swing 6 here. Probably should have swung first so that he can't rest this Chopper, but that's okay. I'm going to be defending that Chopper anyway. If they swing into it. Okay, they're going to the blocker Chopper. We'll let that one go. Here, I will attach one here. I think we're gonna attach another one here to swing 7. He's gonna rest my leader. We're gonna play another guy here. Play that guy. Cancel, and then we'll pass. We'll let that one go. we'll actually defend this one. So here, I kind of want to play the dragon. So what we'll do first is we'll swing here, play a body. We'll see who he rests. Okay, that's perfect. Attack here. We're gonna play the dragon. Deploy this here. Swing like that. I probably should attack the Cavendish first with... Oh, it's perfect. He countered anyway. So we're going to take care of the Cavendish. So we can't keep recycling, and then we'll pass. What we really need in this match, though, is the Rayleigh for when he drops the Kid. But we will counter. Alright, so we'll attach a Dawn. Let's go 10 first. 7. Ooh, there's the Rayleigh though. That we just bottom decked. That's okay. Eight, 7, 8, 9. That's what we'll do. And we're in a pretty good spot right now. There's the Dofi drop. Let that go. Yeah, he has no Dawn up, so here. So this is a 5, 6. This is 9, 11. 10 and 10. 10 and 10 is the better answer. Unless you can counter out of this should be GG. Yep. And that's GG. Alright, so we have a game against Marco. We are still testing out Zoro here. I do like this hand a lot. We have the Kureha, the 3-drop. The 3-drop topper is kind of what I'm always looking for. And so anytime I do see him, I am very happy. We're going to actually pick up this event here so that when he swings into us, we're able to search and play out another body for the crackback. So if he doesn't swing into us, great. We get to establish our board even more. So Marco's interesting in that he's going to start pumping out some big bodies towards the end really quickly. And he's going to cycle his hand to be exactly what he wants it to be. And so I am kind of on a clock, but that's okay because we are already high rolling a little bit. Yep, so we already have 3 bodies on the board. What I will do is attach one here. I do still think it's worth it to play this chopper this turn, and so we'll swing with 2 bodies, and then I'll establish this guy. And then hopefully chopper will play us into someone else. He's seeing if there's a trigger. What does that do? Give one of your... Okay. Well, we weren't going to swing with that anyway this turn, so we're kind of just hard chilling. Yeah, so already, just look how quickly this board filled up. This is kind of where we want to be with this deck. This is what makes this deck so strong. Next turn, we're just going to keep swinging, 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 swinging. Then the following turn, we can establish the dragon, which is also very strong. Here, I'm actually going to counter, because this way we can really pressure his hands. Okay, yeah, we would have lost 2 bodies anyway. So what we're going to do, attach 1 here. We're going to attach 1 here. We're going to give Chopper 1K and swing. We can go another 5. Do I get rid of the ace? Do I care about the ace? Not really. I don't really care about the ace. We'll put it like this. Next turn he's at 7, and this guy's already down to 1 life. And so, oh, that's crazy. I don't know if he knew it was 7. He will activate it. Probably place my Zoro. Yep. We'll pass. So we have the dragon in hand and the relay. We're kind of just chilling at this point. We have 4 life. I don't know what my opponent's going to end up doing. He does play the ace. It will have rush. He'll clear this board, but he has no blocker, so we can just actually don up and say GG. Yeah, otherwise, say he did counter out of that last attack, we still could have dropped the dragon and swung 7, 9. And so that should have been enough to close out the game anyway. Alright, so we are up against a pudding. I will keep this hand. We have Nami first, and then we have the Chopper next, so I will keep on playing these little guys, which will play my other little guys. So we're chilling. Here we will swing. The proper counter. Deploy and play out the blocker Chopper and say pass. One of the things that I didn't do there was reorder the bottom of my life. I think you always should, because this deck, because of the Chopper and the double search, you are cycling through the deck quite often, and so it's worth it to take the time to reorder your deck. But alas, I was kind of lazy, which may come to bite me in the butt later, but that's okay. And we'll just establish this guy, and we'll play out this guy, and we'll say pay us. When he swings into one of my little bodies, I will counter and just replace it. So we'll try to stay at 4 or 5 on the board. So let's use the event. We'll play out this guy again, and we're not going to play anything with him. The cool thing about this event is you can play out a blocker as well, and that's actually saved me in some of the games that I've played. And so, really cool tech you can do. I feel like I will trash my own life because this is a race. We are racing right now with this guy, so here we will start swinging 7s and bring him down to hopefully 1 life. Yeah, see how many times that we're doing this? It's kind of crazy, actually. We're not going to play anything out. Let's see. 7. So one of them will have to be a 6. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to go 6 here. We're going to go 7 here. 7 here. And then we'll say pass. So now they're at 9 Dawn. They could play the Big Mom, the purple one, but I don't know how much more they'll be able to do after that. And so I will be defending these guys on the board, at least my chopper. Just swing into the Makino or the Nami, we let it go. It would have been nice to draw into another rusher, but alas, I'm not that good. I will defend this for sure. Yeah, so they're playing the 9 drop. They'll probably put 1 into my life and 1 into their life. But with 2 cards in hand and this many bodies, unless they pull a nasty trigger, I'm pretty sure it's over. Guaranteed lethal will be 9 here. Yeah, that's GG.